Welcome back to Live from the Artist Room live stream concert series,
where we bring intimate performances from artists around the world straight to you.
We bring a live show to you every 2 weeks, so be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our upcoming shows.
And if you ever do miss a show, you can just head to our YouTube channel and watch our performances at any time.
My name is Meghan Mahoney, and I am a Sacramento-based music industry professional. I'm passionate about supporting artists and providing fans with the best possible experience, from management and marketing to live production.
And I am Nikki Sounds, an artist and producer and the founder of Pink Room Production, which provides creative and business development resources for music makers and music industry professionals. We are powering today's event, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel for more resources.
We created this series as a platform to support female artists during a time when there's really no other performance opportunities available, and then wanted to take things a step further to learn more about each artist via an intimate Q&A session from their own home.
And we are partnering with Femwinism, the idea of loving to see a female win, which is a nonprofit organization that supports women through virtual Win with Women sessions, daily features on their Instagram page. And today we are raising funds for their scholarship and grant fund that supports women by the means of health, wellness, arts and entertainment, and entrepreneurship.
We have an amazing lineup of artists for you today, and our show will feature a set from each artist, followed by their Q&A session hosted by myself. Up first, we have Hannah Judson, a singer-songwriter from Paris, France, with a modern indie folk sound. This U.S. transplant has been all over the world playing her music, and she's excited to share it with you today. Here is Hannah Judson.
Pulls diver, we'd find the surface of the earth is not so far. You come around, you come around. Only you and I don't see the end. Radio is streaming songs I can't pretend. Love, take leave of your senses. Love, you can take me home. You fall into earth on your knees. Inside these four walls is the only air you need. You come around, you come around. Only you and I don't see the end. Radio is streaming songs I can't pretend. 'Cause love, take leave of your senses. Love, you can take me home. Some talk and try to divine what keeps you up at night and spins you around. Only you and I don't see the end. Radio is streaming songs I can't pretend. 'Cause love, take leave
All right, now we have Hannah Judson joining us. Thank you so much for being here today, Hannah. How's it going?
Good, really, really good. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Absolutely, yeah, likewise. I'm so excited to have you. Tell us where you're joining us from.
So I am in my basement studio in a little village on the Seine River, just outside of Paris, France. We live just sort of half an hour south of the city along the river. And I've been here for about 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
How has your location had any influence on your music? And are you originally from France? Tell us how your journey evolved.
It's a lot. It's like a long story. It's a long rambling story. It's not really one particular thing. I always sort of was jealous of people who moved here because of their job, and they can say, "Oh yes, it's because of my job I moved here." But I always had a thing for France, and I had spent, summers when I was a child with my parents and traveled here, and I studied art here and various things. And then after I had kids, I decided I really wanted to raise them here. And so we figured out how to do it. And it was really, I had been working for myself. I got all my business online. This was, I was the first person I knew to do that. And now everybody's working online, and obviously the pandemic and everything, but it was a slightly new territory when I did make the jump. But so we moved over here, and it's been great. It's been the best decision I ever made. Not the easiest. It has not been easy, but it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I've learned so much. We all speak French, more or less, or some of us do in our families. But I've become French. I'm a French citizen now.
That's awesome. How has this quarantine time been like for you in France? Have you found it easier, harder to create? How has it been like over there?
That's a really good question, because it has not been a simple thing, because it's not a simple thing for anybody. And it's a weird thing. And most of us have never been through this before. So sometimes it's hard to wrap your head around what's actually happening. But so the sort of arc of events over here doesn't match the arc of events that's happening in America, or that had happened. Like we were first in the wave of pretty scary news. So first there was Italy, and then there was France, and we're like, next. And but they sort of gained some information in Italy, and then it hit France, and then it hit Spain and other places, and then I mean, I think it probably hit the U.S., but it wasn't hitting the news in the U.S., so it all sort of unraveled a little bit later, a little bit later in the U.S. But so when sometime in mid-March, the government said there's going to be a lockdown. They said that like on a Thursday, and by Tuesday of the next week, and then by the Monday, they said, okay, you have 24 hours to get where you're going for the lockdown. You have 24 hours to get there. And so suddenly people were like, some people weren't where they live, or some people had to just go. And that was it. And so they were very serious about it. And so they locked us down, and you had to be in your house or in your garden if you had one. A lot of people don't, live in apartments and don't have that. And if you did go outside, you had to have a permission slip. And so you had to actually print out your own permission slip, and then fill out your reason for leaving, and then fill out the time. So if you wanted, you were allowed to go get groceries, you could go to the doctor. If you had to do some government business, you could go do your government business, and you could go to the tobacco shop.
So and I love that your music is focused on optimism, and I'm so curious to know how your musical journey started. I mean, I read a little bit about it. It sounded like a electric guitar in a pawn shop in Chicago. Tell us a little bit about.
It's funny because I've got a couple versions of that story, and I'm like, pawn shop for what it was, but I will say that my musical journey started because I was born, and I love music, and I had parents who listened to a lot of different kinds of music, and my dad was a musician.
Okay.
As a hobby, not a professionally, but he was involved with a lot of stuff. So I was around it, and I like it, and I love songs. I love songs, like, it doesn't matter the genre, it just has to be good. I like songs from the 60s, I like songs from the 20s, I like love songs, I like protest songs, I like punk rock, I love punk rock, I like, there's so many different songs that are just so good. I like that we humans need to tell we have things to say, and this is one way of saying it. And I think there are a lot of really dumb songs out there, and I've written a lot of dumb songs. But every now and then you hit on an important one, and it's just one particular way of saying something that needs to be said, and I love that. And so writing songs is like, I'm not that. This isn't the question you asked me.
That's okay. That's okay. No, it doesn't have to be. Just I'm interested. Keep going on that one.
Well, just writing songs is like continually exploring what you think you need to say, and also wanting to say it in a way that people will want to hear it. So it's not. It's also creating a space for other people to have their own experience.
Absolutely.
Like, my songs are quite open to interpretation, and so the way I see it is sort of that color. When you paint a wall or a room color, it changes constantly. Like, oh, it's blue. No, it's kind of green actually. Or, oh, it's really dark. Actually, it's really pretty light. And so you see it differently. People see it differently. It's different at different times of the day. And I think music is also like that. You've done your work, but then other people can either join you or not. And I think that's the other thing is it's like, I don't want to write music that everybody would want to join. That would be like uninteresting and impossible. Like, so there is like trying to do stuff that's not so exclusive that nobody can understand what you're trying to do, what you are doing. But on the other hand, you want to do something that's so average that people are like, yeah, it's okay. You want to find that balance of like what is accessible and is also transformative process for yourself, because you don't want to just write the same stuff. Yeah.
It's easy, and I think it's such a humanistic quality to try to compare ourselves to others or think what we could have done or should have done. And
should have done, right? That's what you think.
But everyone, especially artistic people, I think feel that way too, just because it's for whatever reason accepted as like a non-traditional way to go about life, and it's a little less certain, and you have these kind of different things, and you've so much on your plate sometimes, and then there's a lull, and it's not consistent, and it doesn't have that sameness to it about it, and so it's just not quite as comfortable. But I think as people, that's where you draw your inspiration from, and that's where you can talk about things, and that's where your story is unique, and that's where you're able to connect with people that you wouldn't be able to connect with. So
absolutely. I think that a few years ago, a while ago, in business, one of the topics that came out is design thinking. I think it came out of Stanford University, and design thinking was this idea of bringing the design process into the business process, learning from the iterations that designers go through and bringing that to sort of product development and all that stuff. And I'm interested in some things that you just said, but like artists also have a lot to bring to the world of business in this. So like our way of being creative, not just necessarily in a process, but sometimes like smashing the process to smithereens and just opening it up and doing what you should not be doing, sometimes because of the answer. I think that not just design creativity, but artistic creativity, which is slightly different because you're aiming towards a different product, that I want to spend more time studying that and thinking about that. And thinking how practical it is, and rather than feeling like, which I just must admit, like in the course of my life, I have thought I'm too creative. I should rein it in a little bit. I'm not the right thing. I shouldn't be so like this. I've felt that way. I mean, I would have. Sometimes you just think, oh, I should just be more, average or whatever. I mean,
right.
I don't know. But I was thinking I would like to get to a place where I think being creative is really like exactly correct.
Yeah. And I think it's so powerful because, and the whole, the design thinking, because you're right, artists do things in a different way, and their minds are a little more, creative in the respect that you don't have to do things the same way every time. And I think especially, in the US right now, that's like we've lived so long, and it's like, this is the way we do things, this is the way they are, and this is the way they're going to be. And now we're seeing in so many different realms of different aspects of our, life and politics and this and that. It's like, no, we don't have to do things the same way they've always been done. It's actually really bad to do that. It's actually detrimental to so many people to do that.
But in fact, I think we're learning in COVID-19 that it's not working.
Yeah.
All the broken things are very visible right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think it's a really great time. And, you see people expressing themselves in different ways and supporting people and coming together and, being allies and figuring out how to do that and being okay with being not okay and being okay with wrong and being okay with being open to learning. And these are all very artistic qualities. And it's something I guess I didn't really consider. It's, creatives have almost a leg up right now.
I think you're absolutely right. And I think, what you just said, so we're in this very ambiguous moment. And I think that being creative makes us more resilient. And those are two terms in business that get bandied around a bit, but I think that artists are up for it.
Yeah.
We do live in an ambiguous space when you're putting something together that doesn't exist before. And
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've had a long journey with music, and you've done so much. What advice would you give to young people kind of just getting their start with music? What knowledge and wisdom would you give back to them?
I think the number one most important thing is to not stop. Don't stop. If you know you're in, stay in. It's going to be hard because you will have days where you doubt yourself, maybe hate yourself, don't have the talent, don't have, you're disgusted, it's too hard. You can go into very dark places with making music. So don't listen to yourself, don't take yourself too seriously, and keep doing it. Keep going. I think, and also sort of try to model or remember that feeling that got you doing it in the first place, which is love. Usually you feel like the sense of some people it's anger too. There's so, but you know what it is? People usually have something to say, and music is the best way to say it. And don't forget that. Yes. That you really have
totally. Music is the universal language. And I will believe that till the day I die. There's some things, doesn't matter what language you're speaking in, like dialect, and there's so many different things, but you can feel what somebody feels through their music. And I think it's beautiful and special and unique. And I definitely get that when I feel your music too. I feel that sense of, hope and love and joy and optimism, like you were talking about in the beginning. And I think that's so powerful and, can really mean something to somebody and anybody. And I love that. And I love that about your music. And speaking of, you were kind of telling us about some little singles that you're having released. Where can people go to keep up with you and your music and these new songs that are going to be dropping? How can we figure out when those are happening? And
so the best place to keep an eye on my music is on Spotify. And on Spotify, I perform under my name, Hannah Judson, and you can find me there. And so find me and follow me on Spotify. If you use other platforms, I'm on there too. Spotify is what I stay focused on. I think it's a pretty good tool.
Awesome.
So Spotify, and also I'm on Facebook, Hannah Judson Music, and on Instagram, Muse _ Hannah J _ Muse, Hannah J _ Muse, MUSE.
Awesome.
I'm there too. So those are my main social places.
Perfect. Well, we'll have to keep an eye out for all of those new releases, and I'm so excited to hear what you have been creating during this time. I think it's going to be really interesting to hear all musicians, kind of products from this, unprecedented time in history, and I'm really looking forward to that. We've heard a little bit, and I'm excited to hear more. So thank you so much for speaking with us today, Hannah. I've really enjoyed chatting with you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Absolutely. Take care.
Wow, Hannah Judson. Oh, so exciting to have an artist from France be a part of this series. We're super grateful for her tuning in with us and to hear her perspective on everything.
Absolutely. Did you know that she also founded a music and film festival supporting other female artists? You love to see it. You love the support. And speaking of support, please be sure to support Hannah. We have the link to her tip jar down in the description below. You know, these artists could use all of those extra pennies and nickels and dimes and dollars and all of the rest during this tough time. So please go support.
Yes, please support. And then we also have the Femwinism scholarship and grant fund donation link below. So please donate. They're doing amazing things to support women, especially during this time, like Megan just said. Artists, entrepreneurs, they could really use our extra coin right now. So send something through.
Absolutely. And next we have Saturn Lane, a pop singer from New York City. Saturn draws inspiration from major pop voices and has been at it since she was in diapers. Get ready to take a trip down Saturn Lane.
Hey, hey, oh, I've been trying so hard just to win the fight. Hate my own reflection, cursed it one last time. How the pain would change me, how I lost my light. I've been thinking lately, won't go back this time. Things are gonna change now, finally I know how. Letting all the blame go, time to let myself know, time to let myself know that I didn't know better, I didn't know better, I didn't know better. Let your heart that's inside be the one to define. I didn't know better, I didn't know better, I didn't know better. Take a breath, better, but you're gonna be just fine. Wanted to be different, promise that I tried. Trust me when I tell you, it's not an easy fight. I was so ashamed, but now I know it's part of the way. And now I know much better than yesterday. Things are gonna change now, finally I know how. Letting all the blame go, time to let myself know, time to let myself know that I didn't know better, I didn't know better, I didn't know better. Let your heart that's inside be the one to define. I didn't know better, I didn't know better, I didn't know better. Take a breath, better, but you're gonna be just fine. I'm gonna be alright. Hey, I'm gonna be just fine. Yeah, yeah. Ooh. I didn't know better. No, I didn't know better. I didn't know better. Let your heart that's inside be the one to define. I didn't know better. No, I didn't know better. I didn't know better. Take a breath, harder, but you're gonna be just fine. I didn't know better. I didn't know better. I didn't know better. Let your heart that's inside be the one to define. I didn't know better. I didn't know better. I didn't know better. Take a breath, harder, but you're gonna be just fine. The next song I'm going to be doing is Daisies by Katy Perry. I love this song. I love what it stands for. It really inspires me to follow my dreams no matter what anyone says or what even I sometimes think to myself when I'm feeling discouraged. And I hope you like it, and I hope the song inspires you. Let's do it. Told them your dreams and they all started laughing. I guess you're out of your mind till it actually happens. I'm a small town, 1 in 7 billion. Why can't it be me? They told me I was out there, tried to knock me down. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. They said I'm going nowhere, try to count me out. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. When did we all stop believing in magic? Why did we put all our hopes in a box in the attic? I'm the long shot, I'm the Hail Mary, why can't it be me? They told me I was out there, tried to knock me down. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. They said I'm going nowhere, try to count me out. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. Hey, hey, oh, yeah, yeah. I'm the small town, 1 in 7 billion. Why can't it be me? They told me I was out there, tried to knock me down. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. They said I'm going nowhere, try to count me out. Took those sticks and stones, showed them I could build a house. They tell me that I'm crazy, but I'll never let them change me. So they cover me in daisies, daisies, daisies. Ooh. My next song is an original called Want You Bad, and I'm putting it out in a few weeks, and I hope you like it. Let's do it. Body next to body, feeling this so strong. 'Cause the way you got me, I can't seem to move along. Boy, you got me falling. I've never been so sure. And I feel like it's my calling to keep asking you for more. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the one to blame 'cause I want you bad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Giving you my all, baby, all I have. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Knowing that it's wrong, but I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the one to blame 'cause I want you bad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Giving you my all, baby, all I have. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Knowing that it's wrong, but I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad. No, I'm gonna win you, no matter what I do. Nothing to keep me from you, 'cause you're a game that I can't lose. Ooh, ooh, ooh. You're the one to blame 'cause I want you bad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Giving you my all, baby, all I have. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Knowing that it's wrong, but I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad. 'Cause the way you got me bad, no one has got me. The feeling of your skin all on my body. You know you drive me crazy, boy. But I want you bad, boy. But I want you bad. I can't try. No, I can't try to fight the fight. But if you ask me if I need this, I'll only say I might. Oh, crazy, boy, but I want you bad, boy, but I want you bad, bad. Oh, you know you drive me crazy, boy, but I want you bad, boy, but I want you bad, but I want you bad. Ooh. My last song I'm going to be doing, though, it's a bit of a challenge. I'm going to be singing God is a Woman by Ariana Grande because I love this song, I love her, and I really love the female empowerment that it goes for, you know? So I really just want to have fun with it, and I hope you like it. You love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you'll believe God is a woman. And I feel it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you'll believe God is a woman. I don't wanna waste no time, yeah. You ain't got a one track of mine, yeah. Have it any way you like, yeah. And I can tell that you know I know how I want it. Ain't nobody else can relate. Boy, I like that you ain't afraid. Baby, let me down and let's pray. I'm telling you the way I like it, how I want it. And that could be all the things you told me not to be. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. When I'm in company, it's all in me. You love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you'll believe God is a woman. And I feel it after midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you'll believe God is a woman. I tell you all the things you should know. So baby, take my hand and save your soul, so we can make it last, take it low. Ooh, how I want it, yeah. And you're different from the rest. And boy, if you confess, you might get blessed. See if you deserve what comes next. I'm telling you the way I like it, how I want it. And that could be all the things you told me not to be. When you try to come for me, I keep on flourishing. And he sees the universe when I'm in company. It's all in me. You love it how I move you. You love it how I touch you, my one. When all is said and done, you'll believe God is a woman. And I feel it up to midnight, a feeling that you can't fight, my one. It lingers when we're done, you'll believe God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman, yeah. When all is said and done, you'll believe God is a woman. God is a woman. God is a woman, yeah. It lingers when we're done, you'll believe God is a woman. Hope you liked it. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, and here we have with us Saturn Lane. Thanks so much for performing with us and being here to chat with us today. How's it going?
Hi, thank you so much for having me. It's going well, just trying to make the best of these really weird times.
How has this quarantine time been for you, and what has your music looked like during this time? Have you found it easy to create? Has it been hard to kind of sit down and do stuff? What's it been like for you?
In the beginning, it was a little bit easier than I expected because my friends and I started creating songs right before it started, so we had a little bit of things to pick up from the last time. But I think as time went on and I was just in the house for so long, the inspiration was starting to really just dwindle down. So it's been, I think, productive in more of a business type of way. Like I've been trying to network more and just, like learn whatever I can on my own. So it's been definitely a different shift of the normal structure for what I usually do with music.
How did you come up with your stage name? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So I had another stage name before this one, and I was like, yeah, because my real name is Jessica. So I kept the first part, and then I made the second part like just a word in Italian that I thought had like, it means beauty in Italian. So I was just like, yeah, like that's cute or something. I don't know. And nobody knew how to spell it. Nobody knew how to say it. My real last name is like impossible for people to spell. I could barely write it on a good day. So it's like, I was like, you know what? This isn't working. So I was like, okay, what's easy to say and what's easy to read and write and sounds kind of like weird and, whatever. And I was thinking, I was like, I know Iggy Azalea named herself after Iggy's her dog and Azalea was the name of the street she lived on. I'm like, okay, well, sadly I never had a dog. So it's like, what's a street I lived on? And I used to live on a street called Saturn Lane. So I was like, all right, let's see how this goes. And most people are like, is that your real name? I'm like, wait, you like this? Like, oh my God, like I'm so excited. I thought it was so dumb when I made it because, you just like second guess sometimes.
Yeah.
So I was happy that people tend to think it's cool or.
Yeah. No, it's cool and unique. And like, I feel like, I don't know, I've never like heard a name like it, which is good. And, it's distinctive. You think it sticks with you, I like that. Yeah, totally. That's awesome. So you're pretty open about some of your struggles with mental health, which is, really something that I feel like just needs to be talked about more and kind of just put on the table. And because so many people struggle with it every day. And I mean, it's crazy to me that I think it's just starting to be talked about. And I'm curious to know how music has helped you with your mental health and just kind of shaped that experience for you.
Sure. Thank you, by the way, for.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that because I told myself like years ago when just things started to get, I guess, more intense in that way. I told myself, I was like, listen, if I ever am going to make music or if I'm going to ever like try to have a public platform of some sort, like I promised myself then that I have to talk about these things, even if I'm a little bit hesitant to, because I know it's for like a greater good. Like I know it will help people or it will make people just feel like, sometimes you have to hear somebody else say it because you don't realize. And then when you hear somebody else, it's like, oh my God, wait, really? Like, wait, like me too or something. And then the pieces come together that maybe if you weren't listening to that thing at that time, you could go years of your life not realizing that something is up. And then that's just more time suffering and more time, not knowing what's going on. And I think knowledge is power. And,
Totally.
it's a lot sometimes to talk about and for people to receive depending on, who they are. But I think that it's super important to talk about, and it's probably the second or maybe equally as passionate for me as music. I think that they're both super important to me. But music has definitely helped my journey just like through anxiety. And I think a lot of times when you have anxiety for such a long time, you can kind of go into this depressive state because you kind of like miss who you were before everything went crazy, like you just miss like life before that. So I definitely turn to music a lot, and certainly in the past, to try to not only like normalize what I'm feeling, like where sometimes it can be, I wouldn't recommend it in terms of like when you're sad to put on sad music, but sometimes I do. But sometimes also, keep it going longer than it probably needs to be. But I have done that before. Or sometimes you could do the opposite and you put on happy music and like you feel this like whatever you're upset about or is going on in your life, it's like it doesn't matter in those minutes because you can deal with that later on. Like you like allow yourself to have this time to really just enjoy it, just like listen to all the different sounds. And like when you really think about how amazing it is, like music is super powerful, like we were saying before, and it's like all these different sounds and like these little tiny details and things that you never even really like think about and dissect unless you really look for it. And it can definitely take your mind out of going to negative places. Like I just think it can be really useful.
I'm curious because you see a lot of like big artists and stuff really like tragically succumb to some of these mental health issues. And I was wondering if you had any thoughts about how you think like artists in the industry as a whole can help address like the mental health crisis.
Sure. I think that's really important. I would say that the glamorization of like, I guess the party lifestyle, and this is in almost any genre of music, at least commercial music.
Yeah.
It's okay. Everyone wants to have a good time. Yeah, everybody wants to have fun. I know it's what sells, but some people like or genres or whatever go out of their way to make this like look at my lifestyle, look at all this I'm doing and that I'm doing. And the truth is, we don't even know if these people really live like that. I mean, maybe probably some of them do, but we don't even know if it's just like a persona. So now the people who look up to them are going to want to copy that. And it's just going to, for what? It's like, I've never understood why that has to be what sells because, yeah, everyone wants to have fun, but some people, you hear so many artists and even actors and just, people outside of entertainment that like overdose on drugs and all this intense stuff. And it's like, that is so preventable if we didn't, glamorize it and make that the cool thing. I think that's definitely one step. But I don't know if it'll happen. It'll probably take a while and a lot of people have to be on board for that, but I would like to think eventually.
Yeah.
I think another thing is really opening up a dialogue is super important because as much as it can be like daunting and at times like you want to cringe talking about like the depths of your life or whatever, it's like I feel like at the same time you have to remember why you're doing it, and you have a limit on what you want to go into and what you don't, and some people are an open book and some people don't like sharing things, and that's okay if some people never share anything. But I do think that there's a real power and just like, I don't know, something really amazing that comes out of being vulnerable and being like, yeah, I'm a human and it's okay that I experience this. Just like if somebody had like chronic headaches, people would be like, oh my God, like what a freak, like it just wouldn't happen. So
Yeah.
I think it's important to really like ingrain in people's minds that like the brain is an organ just like any other organ, and things can happen sometimes and it's no one's fault. It's just life, it's just how it goes.
Right.
I think a dialogue is definitely a really important thing too.
No, absolutely, totally. And yeah, like I've said, I so appreciate you as being like an up and coming artist and like just somebody who wants to like lay it out on the table, because also some people I feel like are worried about like talking about those things like too soon in their career, like that like mindset that like, oh, I don't want people like this to be me, I want people to see me for my music. And it's like, no, well, you're not just your music.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff behind what you're putting out into the world, and that's important and it's necessary to acknowledge, and that helps people.
Yeah, I've had that same like thought before, like, well, what if I do this too soon, or like people are gonna think of me a certain way or they're not gonna want to work with me or something. But I think the truth is like it's kind of one of those things where like I don't know if this is because I'm from New York and there's like a stereotype that we're like straight to the facts, let's go. I don't know if it's that. I don't know if it's just because of my personality. Like I'd rather have like less friends, let's say, who really know me and like me for me, than like for me to be somebody that I'm not and then have all these people who like a version of me that isn't really who I am. So I think it's the same thing with being an artist, because I'd rather have people, if I am myself and they like me, I know that they really actually like me.
Totally.
And the other thing is too is from an artistic standpoint, so much of what music is created by is life experience. So if this is something that interferes with your life and you are writing about it, it's like it's kind of dicey to write about it and say it and then never address it in real life. It's like,
for real.
what did I write my music about? You know what I mean? So so I think that's also part of the reason too, where I'm just like, okay, well, if I'm writing songs about it, like I gotta accept that this is what I should talk about.
Where can we go to keep up with you and your music and check out these new releases and all that good stuff that you've got coming out?
Okay, so Instagram, my handle is at Saturn Lane, so like the word, like the planet Saturn, and then Lane. And Facebook, it's at Saturn Lane Music.
Awesome.
And Twitter is at Saturn Lane. Spotify, just type in Saturn Lane. SoundCloud is, I think it's soundcloud.com/Saturn dash like that Lane. And on my website, SaturnLaneMusic.com. So.
So important to have these conversations about mental health. I love how open and honest and raw she is. You know, you've got to be honest about these things to be able to move forward, move our society forward. And as an artist with her platform, I love the way she's using it.
Yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, she just killed that Ariana Grande cover of God is a Woman. Like,
yeah, she did.
Girl, thank you so much. Please support her. Her tip jar link is below. She would definitely love some of the love during this time. We really encourage you to send something over to the independent artists, because concerts and events are just disappearing left and right. Even if they're coming back, they start to disappear again.
Absolutely, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Show her some love, please, please. You know they'll appreciate it. And we have one more performer for you today, but before that last performance, we do have a very important message from the Femwinism team where they share what feminism means to them.
What feminism means to me: sisterhood, support, resources.
It has helped me be empowered.
I have found the best support in this group in the last couple of years.
Feeling safe, feeling like you can be yourself, feeling seen and heard.
Feminism is family. Feminism means winning with each other.
I think of collaboration over competition. Listen, we are all in it to win it, and we can all grow and meet each other at the top.
Each woman individually is something special, but all together we are a force of unmeasurable support.
It's a real sense of freedom to be able to finally share your ideas without any intimidations.
The power of knowing who you are. It's the power of embracing where you can help others.
We all have a need and a want and a passion to help others and to love others.
We get to see each other genuinely and honestly. So sisterhood, hands down.
It is love, it is acceptance, it is compassion.
It is goddess energy, it is sisterhood, it is support, it is a network, it is community.
Everybody is the strong friend. Everyone is very transparent, so open.
Feminism is, without a doubt, one of the greatest teams that I've ever been a part of, and I know that I'm changing lives, and you can too, so join us.
Yes, love that video so much. Shout out again to the Femwinism Scholarship and Grant Fund donation link. We got that in the description below, so please check it out. We thank you, Femwinism, for everything you do for women around the world.
Absolutely. We couldn't be more grateful to have you partnering with us through this amazing journey supporting women, because we know that's what you love to do and what we love to do too. We have one last performer for you today, and that is going to be the lovely Alyssa Lucero. Alyssa is an actor and singer from San Diego who has experience in multiple facets of the music industry, from theater to choruses to solo acts. She earned a degree in musical theater and has graced stages from Arizona to California with her powerful voice. Here she is, Alyssa Lucero.
Some people live for the fortune. Some people live just for the fame. Some people live for the power, yeah. Some people live just to play the game. Some people think that the physical things define what's within, and I've been there before. that life's a bore, so full of the superficial. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. Some people search for the fountain, the promise is forever young. Some people need 3 dozen roses, and that's the only way to prove you love them. Hand me the world on a silver platter, and what good would it be with no one to share, no one who truly cares for me? Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Some people want it all, but I don't want nothing at all. If it ain't you, baby, if I ain't got you, baby. Some people want diamond rings, some just want everything, but everything means nothing if I ain't got you. Yeah. If I ain't got you with me, baby. See, nothing in this whole wide world don't mean a thing if I ain't got you with me, baby. I'm so confused. I know I heard you loud and clear, so I followed through. Somehow I ended up here. I don't want to think, I may never understand how my broken heart is a part of your plan. When I try to pray, all I got is hurt and these 4 words. Thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done. I know you're good, but this don't feel good right now. And I know you think of things I could never think about. I try to count it all joy, distracted by the noise, just trying to make sense of all your promises. Sometimes I gotta stop, remember that you're God and I am not. So thy will be done, thy will be done, thy will be done. Like a child on my knees, all that comes to me is thy will be done, thy will be done, thy much about your life. Don't know much about your world, but I don't wanna be alone tonight on this planet they call Earth. You don't know about my past, and I don't have a future figured out. And maybe this is going too fast, and maybe it's not meant to last. But what do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or hand to hold, or hell to pay. What do you say? What do you say? I just wanna start again, and maybe you could show me how to try. Maybe you could take me in, somewhere underneath your skin. What do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or hand to hold, or hell to pay. What do you say? What do you say? And I've had my heart beaten down, but I'm always coming back for more. Yeah, there's nothing like love to pull you up when you're lying down on the floor there. So talk to me like lovers do. Yeah, walk with me like lovers do. Like lovers do. What do you say to taking chances? What do you say to jumping off the edge? Never knowing if there's solid ground below, or hand to hold, or hell to pay. What do you say? What do you say? Don't know much about your life. Don't know much about your world. It's not simple to say that most days I don't recognize me with these shoes and this apron. That place and its patrons have taken more than I gave them. It's not easy to know I'm not anything like I used to be, although it's true I was never attention sweet center. I still remember that girl. She's imperfect, but she tries. She is good, but she lies. She is hard on herself. She is broken and won't ask for of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine. And you're not what I asked for. Sometimes life just slips in through a back door and carves out a person and makes you believe it's all true. And now I've got you, and you're not what I asked for. If I'm honest, I know I would give it all back for a chance to start over and rewrite an ending or two for the girl that I knew who'd be reckless just enough, who gets hurt but who learns how to toughen up when she's bruised and gets used by a man who can't love. And then she'll get stuck and be scared of the life that's inside her, getting stronger each day till it finally reminds her to fight just a little to bring back the fire in her eyes that's been gone but used to be mine. Oh, it used to be mine. She's messy, but she's kind. She is lonely most of the time. She is all of this mixed up and baked in a beautiful pie. She is gone, but she used to be mine.
Alrighty, and here we have with us the lovely Alyssa Lucero. Alyssa, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, thanks. So tell us a little bit about your experience with musical theater. I know you're pretty involved in that kind of aspect of music. Tell us a little bit like about what draws you to it, what you like and dislike about it. Give us kind of the rundown of your experiences.
Yeah, so I got my degree in musical theater at Arizona State. Originally, that's not, thank you. Originally, that's not what I went to school for, but I just was really unhappy not doing it and not performing. And so I transferred, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like, I mean, I grew up singing. I was kind of forced into it by family, and so I guess that kind of just led me to musical theater, and I just had a love for it from the very beginning. I think it started in like middle school, honestly. But yeah, so I've been doing it for fun for a while, but then I got my degree in it, and then I started doing shows, and I actually took a year off from it after graduation just because it, you know, I mean, you know, when you graduate, it's just, you're kind of like, woo, I graduated, I'm done. But at the same time, you're so exhausted that you're kind of, this sounds bad, but you're kind of sick of it, like whatever you studied. And so you're like, I just need to like be not doing that for a while. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like music has always been my passion. And I think that, you know, I'm such a different person when I'm not performing or when I'm not singing. So, I mean, right now I feel like kind of lost a little bit, you know, but I think that's how a lot of people feel when they're just not really in the zone, per se. So yeah, I mean, musical theater is my life, and I know that everyone says that, but I feel like life is not the same when you're not performing. And, you know, all of us are feeling that, especially right now with what's going on with the pandemic and Broadway being closed and theater just in general, just performative art is just closed right now. So
for you personally, how have you been kind of keeping up? Has it been easy for you to go to music as an outlet, or has it felt like something that doesn't feel quite right now? Like, how has that experience with like quarantine and music been for you?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning of, you know, the lockdown and the shutdown, it felt very suffocating to sing, and that sounds really dramatic, but I mean, I think when you're forced to not be able to do something, especially because like I've been kind of explaining it to my family, you know, recently, that, you know, the reason why Broadway is shut down and performative art is shut down right now is because artists are considered super spreaders, particularly singers, because of everything that's going on. And so it's just like so up in the air about what we're going to do to be preventative in that, you know, that way. But me specifically, I mean, in the beginning, I just didn't want anything to do with singing because I felt like kind of betrayed, you know, just like by your own art form. But I'm really lucky that I have like a strong group of friends that I went to school with that are just like, don't let this be like a deterrent for you. And, you know, you should really be singing. So it's actually kind of funny that you messaged me about doing this like right after I had posted a video, and that video was actually like a video my friends forced me to do. So they were like, you know, you need to stop being so afraid of posting music, especially right now, like especially right now when people need that distraction and that reminder that the arts are very important, and that, you know, you need to have an outlet for all of the emotion that you're feeling. And so I think it was just really funny and like a really great coincidence that, you know, me posting that video and then, you know, you reaching out to me just kind of like all like snowballed. And I think that was really great. But yeah, so that's how I've been coping.
So you told us a little bit earlier that you are a cantor for your church. Can you talk a little bit about how your faith has shaped your relationship with music, or vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, I started doing cantoring almost unofficially my freshman year of high school. I met the accompanist at a wedding, actually, and he told my aunt, hey, do you think she would be interested in singing for, you know, Sunday Mass? And I was like, oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, I'll think about it. And then when she told me it was like a 7 a.m. Mass, I was like, I am not a morning person whatsoever. And so I was just dragged there kicking and screaming. And then, you know, just experiencing that for the first time, I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so, you know, at first it was, you know, just a fun singing thing. And then I think over the course of, you know, time being there, it just really helped my relationship with God grow. And I've always said that my relationship with God is mine and mine alone. And I believe very strongly in that relationship, but I also think that, you know, everyone has their own interpretation of God or a higher power, or whatever you believe. And I just truly think that my journey was, you know, put in place by God. And so whatever trials or whatever, you know, hardships that I went through was all for a reason. And, you know, looking back on that, I truly do believe in that. And so it's funny because I started officially cantoring like almost a year after I graduated. It was like the March after I graduated. And I just remember going, oh my God, I can't do this. Really? I've done it unofficially, but it's so different. And then it was such a different type of music. It was more classical. And even though I was trained in that, you know, classical operatic music is so different from, you know, chanting and antiphons and that kind of stuff. And so I was like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. But, you know, that, you know, put me where I am right now. And me being able to have that outlet, like I was telling you earlier, is so important. And I think that also I get almost like the cherry on top because it also helps strengthen my faith. And I think that, you know, if I was not put into, you know, if I was not made to be the cantor, then I wouldn't be the cantor right now during quarantine, and I wouldn't be able to be that type of leadership that, people need to hear every week, whether it's, spoken from our priest or, through the fingers of my incredible, music director and accompanist, Scott. He's insane. Oh my God. But, being able to collaborate with him every week is just such a powerful testament to, God's world in general. And I think that, my faith is tested, like everyone's lives are tested, but I think that right now it's very important for me to be that voice. When we started in the beginning of quarantine, people weren't allowed to be in the church. So it was basically just our priest, an altar server or two, and then Scott and I, and then maybe a reader, someone that would do the readings. And we didn't know that that was going to be a thing when quarantine started. I thought that I was going to be out of a job for months. And mind you, that within itself is stressful enough. Totally. But then couple that with not being able to sing every week. So that kind of just made me crazy. But thank God that, Scott and Father Anthony were able to, create a solution. So we started actually live streaming Mass.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it was kind of, a new thing for everyone, and thank goodness we had the technology to be able to do that. But being able to still sing every week and being able to be that voice for the parish was really a blessing. And I didn't realize it because I get really anxiety ridden, and I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be on camera, and I'm I gotta look right, and I have to not say the wrong thing, or I can't mess up. But in the reality of it, you're just as human as everybody else. So
exactly.
But I think it was kind of crazy that all led up, and then it's just beautiful to be able, I was able to share it with my dad who lives in Arizona, and so I would share the link with him every week. And I just think it's really cool. I don't know, it's really cool to be able to do what I do, and the connection of it all, again, with the whole journey situation, like I was telling you, it just all makes sense, and it's all God's plan. And that's just really important to recognize that. And ultimately it's not up to you, it's up to God. And so I strongly believe that, and whatever anybody else believes, but that's just how I am. And it's just really interesting how things play out. And
I know it's kind of a hard time with everything going on, but when things pick back up, and you said you've been posting a couple of videos of you singing like that, where can people go to keep up with you and your music and your beautiful voice that you're sharing with the world?
I mean, I have a YouTube channel. I'm blanking on what exactly it's called right now.
Cool. We'll get it up at the bottom.
Just do the thing. But so I have some videos on YouTube. I need to post more. Just again, like I touched on, I'm just very nervous about that kind of thing. But I think this is good. This format is just so very open, and it just reminds me of why we do this. But also Instagram, I'm very active on Instagram. My God, it's just ridiculous. So I mean, YouTube and Instagram, and as of right now, I'm not doing any current projects, just obviously with what's going on. But those are where I keep myself updated and accountable. And
awesome. We'll have to tune in and check out. Everyone can go back and watch the last video posted, and we'll keep up with kind of new things that you're creating. I'm excited to see where you go from here.
Thanks.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, Alyssa. It was a pleasure talking with you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Damn, Alyssa, what a voice. And I love that she got her degree in college related to music. It is so important for people to pursue their education and the arts and their career as well, especially if that's what they're being called to do.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And I just think it's so awesome also she's been able to continue her involvement with music via these online church services. And, just keep putting that content out there, girl. You have a whole team of women here supporting you.
Yes, you do.
And please don't forget to go show Alyssa some love and the tip jar link down in the description. Everyone needs it during this time, especially these artists. It's monetary support, but it's also showing them that you appreciate them and all the work they're doing. So please go check out those tip jars in the link.
Yes. And thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to our sponsor, Femwinism, for all that you do for women around the world. And be sure to follow and stream our artists today, Hannah Judson, Saturn Lane, and Alyssa Lucero. Go check them out, support them, stay up to date with their music.
Absolutely. And we will be having another installment of Live from the Artist's Room coming at you in 2 weeks on August 29th with another lineup of amazing women. So please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram so you don't miss out.
See you next time. Love you all.
Thanks, guys.
Sing that shit.